Now when you want to do a redstone build in Minecraft, you want to do the smallest redstone build or the biggest. You want to make it tiny, but you want to make it impressive but easy to build. The big ones are good for showcase, but a small thing that everyone can build in their survival world is pretty cool, and you want to try and build the best version of that. I think I built the best version of this thing, except it's kind of slow, but this is a lamp door, not America, and it's a 3x3 vault door, but if we look, the lamp is on when it's open, but then if we close it, the lamp stays on. So you do have these redstone blocks at the side, but that might be because that allows it to be tiny. It's kind of crazy because this bit is just for the button, so the actual door itself is just this 2 wide, really tiny thing. The only sticks out as much as the pistons on every side. It does a nice spiral. The top is a little bit slow because of how I did it, but that's because of this torch thing that allows the redstone lamp to stay on while keeping the redstone tiny. Because the problem is this redstone will power this piston, so we do have to temporarily turn it off to allow us to pull this redstone lamp back up. I think there are ways I can maybe make this faster, but for now we've just got this tiny lamp door. So how do you build this tiny lamp door? So if you came here thinking this is a Bedrock video, I'm sorry. If you look at this skin, if I'm using this skin, this is Java video. So welcome to Minecraft Java. Hope you guys are having fun here, because I have got used to playing Bedrock and Java builds are confusing now. But anyway, the resources are 3 redstone repeaters, redstone torch, 14 redstone dust, 7 observers, 3 note blocks, and you could also instead have 2 note blocks and a trapdoor. It uses a bit less wood. If you've got the wood spare, then do that. 11 sticky pistons, and 1 redstone block, except I think it's better to use 2. This one doesn't do anything, but it just makes it look more aesthetic because then it's symmetrical. And 2 slabs, that can also be glass or stairs. And the reason we use a slab is because the redstone on this slab, powered by the torch, if it was a full block, then it would power this piston through some weird mechanics, which could mean that piston stays extended out instead of pulling the block back. But if it's a slab, that doesn't happen, so that's why it has to be a slab. And I also forgot, but you need the redstone lamp, obviously, for the lamp door. Just to kind of show you what you're building, the lever goes on this redstone line here. And you see, although that was very fast, it's kind of this double extender comes down, and then everything else is just observers powering pistons. And when an observer powers piston in Java Edition, it makes it just quickly chuck its block out, and then if we set it off again, it pulls it back. So that's why we use observers there. And then if you watch this torch on when I turn it off, torch turns off for a sec, which means that this piston, when it's here, will stop being extended for a second. So that's the equivalent of me doing this, so it stops extending. Then these repeaters turn off, which means the top piston turns off, pulls it up, and then these observers from the torch, when the torch goes off, they'll get sell off, which means that piston extends and pulls the block up. So in terms of space, you're going to need this 2x7 area in the middle, and then you're going to need 8 blocks of height. And for your floor, you leave 1 block of space, and then you do your floor here. And your door is going to be these 3 blocks in the middle, pistons. So for the first pistons, we just do 3 at the bottom, and they have blocks on them. Then we'll destroy these because this is just showing where the floor level was. Then we'll build up the sides and the top like this. So this is the outline of your door. And if we go to the middle of each side, we do a sticky piston. Then on the left side, we have 1 more sticky piston that has a redstone block in front of it. At the top, we just do another 3 pistons aiming down like this. And then we'll go around the back. And if we fill in the frame at the back like this, then we go to top middle and go 1 block higher up and do 2 sticky pistons aiming downwards for our double extender. So under this double extender we just have our redstone lamp as well, because that's what that's for. And then this redstone block will power the lamp. So if we're on the front, our input is on the left, and what we do is above this back piston, we do a block. Then we do a block one block up in front of it. Then we do a block on top of that, do a slab behind, or glass or stairs. And then we're going to have 2 blocks going across to the middle. Then next to this top piston as well, we have another. And finally a note block above the middle. On these 2 bits at the left, we're going to do redstone, then on the slab as well, and on this block here, and on top of this piston. So cool thing in Java and Bedrock, if a piston's aiming downwards, you can put redstone on top and it will activate and not break it. At least in this version 1.19.2. So now on the back 2 blocks, we do a repeater on its full delay, and then a repeater on 3 ticks, which means it's 1 from the end, so it adds 3 redstone delay, and this one adds 4. On the right side, we take an observer out of our note block. That goes into a block below with the repeater on top. That's on 3 ticks, so 1 from the end again. That goes into a redstone on top of a block. Then we put our torch on the side, and then our slab / glass / stairs underneath with redstone, and redstone going across to light up the lamp. So the top bit should now be working, as well as these 2 pistons on the left. Oh yeah, and to avoid the piston doing that thing there, where it just double extended, and also just realised I forgot a couple of observers. But yeah, so the piston double extends, it goes off twice. And to prevent that, we just go around the back and put redstone on this block here to power it, because it gets set off by an observer. And then finally, to set off the middle piston, we have 2 observers coming from the torch into the middle. And that does the last little extension. So now if we turn it off, there you go. Okay, to activate all the other pistons, we'll first go under this left piston at the front, do an observer going down into a block and a block across with redstone on them. Then we go to the back, and this is where you can use your trapdoor if you've made one, and pull it there. You can also just use a note block. But I'm going to use the trapdoor because it uses less wood if you're building this in survival. Do an observer going across the middle into a note block, then another observer, then this L shape of blocks here, redstone on all of those. And that'll power the bottom 3 pistons. Then to power this last piston here, we just do an observer going up from that redstone. And now that's our door complete. So we just get our lever, and if we input into this redstone here, from either side, the door will close and open. Your floor is going to be in front like this. And then obviously you'd have a wall round to block off the redstone, so it'd kind of be like that in the wall. So well, if you want to activate it with a button, because that's something that I get asked, well, you're going to need 2 droppers, a hopper, a comparator, 3 redstone repeaters, and a random block. You could also have 2 redstone repeaters, depending on how you do the redstone. So what you do is you get your input set of stuff here, and you're just going to input a repeater somewhere, or a line of redstone coming from a repeater, and then we're going to go 1 block behind it. We're going to do a dropper aiming up and a dropper aiming across. Do a hopper going into the bottom dropper, and then a comparator. And all that's important is you have a comparator and a repeater, and then that leads to a redstone line that gets to either of these 2 input blocks with the redstone. We put a random item in the bottom dropper, and then if you power this with a repeater into the top dropper, you can use a button to activate it on and off. And then if you want to do that from the front, you just have to find some way to hook up a redstone line. So I could do a block going across here, and just need to connect that up to this stuff here. So there we go. And then obviously this isn't the most amazing way of doing this because the wall goes so far back, but the point is you just need buttons connected up to that system. And you can activate it from both sides. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. I'm pretty proud of this design. I think it's really cool. I'd actually use this in one of my survival worlds because it's small enough that I could be bothered to build it. And I guess it's nice to be back in Java Edition for a bit. If you want world downloads for these things, I have a world download with most of my builds in Java and Bedrock in the description below, and there's also a Patreon if you want to throw some money at my dumb face so I can build more stuff like this. Alright, thanks, and I'll see you next one. I've been Eyed and Died.